Yeah, anything.
And then sage stick, which we will actually be using tonight. So,
what did that do?
It's purification. It's supposed to, like, you do the whole house, like when you move in somewhere, and it's supposed to clear the house. And some people do protective stuff when they move in, and you use that as well. It's a wisdom stone, but I actually found it, so I cracked the rock that it was in. It's a grounding wisdom stone, so it helps to, in theory, kind of hold what you figure out in your meditation. Okay, well, basically Imbolc is a transitional holiday between the two equinoxes. It's a holiday of purification. So you'll see the fire. It is basically a chant. It's kind of a ritual that you take paper with either diary entries, or you make up one like I'm doing right now, of things that you want to get rid of from your past year. Just bad karma, bad energy, fights, things you might have said, anything that you want to flush out of your year that you don't want to carry over. That's what you're getting rid of. And so you'll see Ira and I are both going to have our things that we burn for this year, and that's what the whole purpose of it is. And it's kind of that right before the spring equinox, so it's right before the new beginnings, right before things are reborn. So it's your chance to kind of set the path for how things are going to blossom.
It was healing experience.
That's exactly what it is. See, she's burning years worth of stuff. It's so liberating, isn't it?
Whee!
Getting rimble. Well, we are redneck pagans. We're redneck pagans, I guess.
Upon arriving at this remarkable house, one is greeted by various masks whose job it is to protect the house. A home shrine sits just outside and accepts offerings of a new day. Balinese guards sit just outside the female aspect, the pool, and the male aspect, the fireplace. A beautiful Javanese water goddess sits just outside the edge of the pool. Once inside, one is greeted by Lord Ganesha, who faces east as he stands guard at the main entrance. One needs only to look up to see the beautiful ceiling, mandel inlaid with ebony, a purple heart, and red heart. Perhaps one of the most remarkable aspects of the house is the Brahmastan, located at the very center of the home, its heart. The Brahmastan connects every floor of the house, bringing an element of earth, water, fire, the natural light streaming through the top, air, and space. Each of these are held sacred and remind people to return to and live from the heart. The lowest level contains a fountain that touches the earth. The house is full of various pieces of art and other sacred pieces, such as the Shiva Nataraja, a book of illuminations from the Bhagavad Gita, a watercolor painting of the 9 chakras by Kate Bell, The Flame in the Lotus, acrylic on glass painted by Megan Yalcott, a very old mask from Papua New Guinea, probably danced during a sacred ceremony. Being a yoga instructor, it only makes sense for Ms. Manis to have her very own yoga studio, as well as a treatment room with quartz crystal healing bowls. When struck, each bowl emanates a different tone. Of course, we couldn't resist seeing the top of the Brahmastan, so we made our way up the observatory staircase, got up to the observatory, and were amazed and in awe of the view. Seeing the top of the Brahmastan, the very heart, the very center of this house that was so full of meaning, concluded our amazing visit.
Sometimes you feel maybe left out or intimidated, or you just feel kind of ill-represented. It's all a struggle that I think is worthwhile.
It was really weird at first because you didn't know whether or not to say, to people how to explain it to them, because they always had questions, and it was just like, how much should I say? I don't want to weird everybody out here, because then, just have that weird perception of you as soon as you come in. And I actually had a boss that got in my face and yelled at me and told me I was going to hell, and sat me down like with another one of his co-worker, I guess his next in command kind of thing, and they were preaching at me and telling me all these things that the Bible said, and it was it was really awkward, and
I'm sure,
and and eventually that job dissolved rather quickly after that, and I was just like, I'm really glad to be out of there because it was so awkward. And I would go to last semester, I would go to Buddhist meditation, and he'd be like, you better be careful about going there, they might convert you, and it was like, okay. It was very strange.
Aren't really interested in converting
exactly
people. They're just like, find out the nature of your mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to me, that is why I really want to get involved with the interfaith, with the Interfaith Alliance, Student Alliance, was because, I think that after that experience, it showed me exactly how important it is for people to break those misconceptions, that wow, he really knew nothing about what he was saying aside from his own faith.
Yeah.
And it seemed not everything about what he was saying about his own faith, and so to me, the breaking of the misconceptions is really important, especially at places where the religious diversity is fairly low, where they really are a minority as far as religions go.
Yeah.
And so to me, it was awkward when I first got here, but as I realized that, being a religious minority isn't a bad thing, it's just something that can cause you to have to cope with certain aspects that other people don't have to. I just kind of got more comfortable with that, and I was like, well, you got to be who you are. You're going to be miserable if you're not.
That's
so
true. Exactly.
So, but I still am hesitant sometimes. I like to tell people that I babysit for, and it's like, might lose a job, It's like, because a lot of people around here that would really bother.